Hello everyone and welcome to episode 9 of the We Talk podcast, the show where we talk about games. I am your host, Niall Edwards, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, Curtis Russell. How you doing?
I'm doing great as always, man. You almost slipped up there in the beginning.
Yeah, I
very
totally
close.
lost my... Yeah, because I was going to say monthly show, because we used to do this monthly,
Yeah.
and now we do it every 2 weeks. And my brain just went, I've messed it up before, Curtis will never let me live it down if I mess it up again. Get it right, get it right, get it right. Which... So a quick reminder to everyone, you can follow the show on Twitter at @we_talk, and we've had a lot of activity on there over the past week.
Yep.
Big shout out to Harry Benzie, who keeps contacting the show. Thank you so much for your support. And on top of that, we've launched our brand new website this week, which is we-talk.com, where you can find the podcast, you can find some little info about us, and then I'm also going to be, and Curtis is also going to be, uploading a bunch of articles about news stories. So that's going to be interesting. When news breaks, we're going to be talking about it. We'll also do like reviews and opinion pieces on there. So yeah, that's going to be a really interesting website and definitely something you should check out. So that's we-talk.com, and I hope you enjoy that. So, happy Thanksgiving also to all our American listeners. I know
happy
that's happening
Thanksgiving
right now.
I just had like my third plate. Like it would be an American holiday to just literally have a holiday wrapped around eating. It would be so American of us to do that. Half of us don't even know the significance of it.
Really?
No.
Even I know what it's about. Like
I don't even really know myself. I know kind of the context, but I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure there's something else with it. I know it has something to do with some of the Native Americans and the people that came over to take their land, sat down and they ate. Cool.
Yeah, basically that's the story.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm the one who knows all about this one. I'm thousands of miles away, or as you say, kilometers. So
No, we say
what have we been
miles.
playing?
I think. Yeah, we say miles.
You actually say miles?
Yeah, we say miles.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, we totally say miles.
That.
You guys learn about that in school? You guys learn about American Thanksgiving? I mean, there's no other things.
It's talked about, but like no more than for like 20 minutes in a lesson.
Yeah. Because I mean, it is basically you guys that come over and yeah.
Well, I reckon if I took geography,
Yeah.
there'd be a bit about it, but I took history instead, which is not really. Right, this is totally unrelated about video games, but right. So my school. History, the class had decided we could have done about like the American Wild West and stuff like that.
Ooh.
But the school had to pick 3 topics, and so there was like the Wild West, and there was a bunch of stuff like that. And like instead, we're doing medicine, Queen Elizabeth, and like World War II, which is pretty interesting. But like medicine and Queen Elizabeth, I'd rather do the Wild West.
Yeah, the Wild West sounds more entertaining. Sounds like it would be more fun.
We just watched Back to the Future 3.
Right.
So let's get into talking about some games.
All right.
So this is a new segment called "What Have We Been Playing This Week But Isn't Brand New." So
Is that the name of it? Oh, okay.
Sure.
Working
This
title,
is-
maybe?
Sure, yeah, we'll figure something out.
Okay.
But this is a segment where we talk about a game we've been playing but isn't brand new. So, for example, last episode we talked about Death Stranding, and I want to talk about that some more, which we will get into later because we're doing Game of the Year stuff, and that might come up in one of the topics we're doing, maybe.
Yeah.
But Death Stranding, I've still been playing a lot this week. I think last time we did an episode I was on 5 hours, and now I'm on about 15. So I've been playing it a hell of a lot.
Good bit of it in there.
Yeah, putting a fair amount in, and I've just like, it's weird because the whole game's changed pretty recently. Like, so now I've got like a bike and stuff, and it's made the game so much easier in some ways, because if you're near like certain camps where if you're too slow you're gonna get in trouble and people are gonna come and attack you, you can just barrel through them. But then at the same time there's some stealth sections. And so if you leave your cargo on your bike, because you can't carry a bunch at once, so if you have some of it on your bike, you can't get off your bike during the stealth sections, because then you just have to go back through all these things again and get the cargo. So you have to sort of like, I was doing this bit where I had to go up this massive steep hill that had like rocks everywhere, and it was almost impossible, and there were BTs about that were trying to get me. And I just had to like somehow very slowly move my bike past it. and then they got me.
Oh,
and it's the
man.
first time like I've been like gotten by them in the game that wasn't like a scripted sort of thing, because like there's like a couple times early on where it's like, oh, they've got you and we're just putting this in the scene so you know what to do later.
Right.
And so this like big like flood of black slime and goo barreled down on me. I was flooded away. The camera goes all like blurry and stuff, so you can't quite tell where you're going and what's happening. And so then I'm just at the top of this weird mountain, but just with this black slime and goo everywhere, and this weird goo monster is shooting stuff at me, and I can't defend myself against it, so I'm just running, and then I have to find my bike because all my car goes. It's insane the stuff this game makes you do, and I love it so much because I hate it. So
I love it so much
that's
because
where
I hate
stand on
it.
that.
Yeah,
It's an abusive relationship.
I
like-
got you.
Yeah.
Game sounds nuts. It sounds like there's so much to it.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's so much to it.
I reckon if you ever get around to playing it, you're going to absolutely love it.
I think I'll like it too. I think with that game, the reviews just don't tell exactly how good that game is. I think it's just almost a niche-ish type game, and like, you know, a few. I think it's good, but I think only certain people are probably gonna appreciate what this game is trying to tell. Necessarily, it seems like that kind of game, even though I haven't put any hours into it myself.
Yeah, and a lot of people also, like, a lot of the reviews I've seen seem to be, like, reviewing it as if it was a movie. And I'm going, well, it's not a movie, it's a game. And yes, Hideo Kojima has gone with, like, a very movie-like thing with this, where you've got, like, Mads Mikkelsen and, what's his name? Norman Reedus.
Right.
A weird thing about this game, you can take shits in the toilet, and the toilet door closes, and it censors it by putting an advert for Norman Reedus' new HBO show.
Oh, wow.
And, like, it's so weird because it takes me out so much, but like just seeing that, it's so weird. But yeah, we'll talk about that more
funny.
in a bit. Pokemon Sword I've been playing a lot of as well. I think I've clocked in about 7 hours at this point, but I'm only up to the second gym you do. So I'm not too far ahead. I've definitely been taking my time with it.
Yeah.
But I just did the gym that I played at the Insomnia demo that I did in August, and so I breezed through it pretty quickly. But the issue was because I chose the fire starter and it's a water gym, it sort of messed me up a little bit. But that's always going to be the case because of conflicting types and stuff. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Pokemon. I'm probably enjoying it more than I was last episode, I want to say.
Good.
Like I've gone from being like it's fine to yeah, you know what, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But have you been playing any more?
Yeah, been playing Pokemon. I just beat the third guy, the fire gym leader, Kaboo or whatever his name is. Finally beat him. The gym segment parts. Even though I only did like 3, the first one was really good. The second one was pretty good too. The third one is just kind of seems like they got a little lazy with that one, but. Other than that, I mean, I am liking the game generally. I'm still trying to just really grasp what the wild area really is for and what's the true purpose of it. Whether if it's just meeting up with people and just doing raids and stuff like that, or if it's or if it's like you got to be out there just to fight the more stronger Pokemon to beef yourself up. Like it doesn't really set a tone necessarily, so I'm having a little issue with that, but other than that, I really do like the game. I love the customization, and I'm looking forward to playing more of it. I've been going back and forth between PES and FIFA, and I'm playing a little bit of Sonic Adventure Battle 2 on PC. I just got my Xbox controller here, where I can just hook it up and start playing, so I'm playing a little bit of that, and I'm probably going to do a article on just like on Sonic in general with the Sonic movie and some of the Sonic games, probably on Weed Talk.
That'll be good.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. I'm probably going to do that on Weed Talk, and then I'll probably do a discussion video doing a different way on the Soul Dojo. So it should be some good stuff, some really good stuff. Hopefully to play. Yeah. Well, we're not doing games we're about to start playing, right?
We could do that. Yeah, go ahead.
Halo Reach on PC, December 3rd. I'm definitely going to play some of that. And
okay.
I hope I don't use my Xbox controller on it because I really want to learn how to play with it on keyboard on PC.
Well, my list of things I'm about to play is probably absolutely massive, because in the coming weeks I am planning to get an Xbox One X.
Oh.
So that's like their big 4K thing. I had a One S earlier this year. Sold it for Tame Impala tickets. Which, look, I regret it because I miss having an Xbox, but I don't regret it because I got to see Tame Impala live at the O2 Arena. So, like,
it's all good.
Trade-off.
Yeah.
But
I just recently got a PlayStation 4 Pro yesterday because of Black Friday. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't have to.
Oh, yeah, it's Black Friday as we're recording this, by the way.
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. Like, I didn't, like, have to fight anybody for it either. I just walked in with my old PlayStation that was dying out. The dude at GameStop had to, like, play it for a second, and I was like, please don't die out. Please don't. He was like, no, you good. Here, we'll give you some money.
Well, that's a big reason I'm getting a One X, because my PlayStation's definitely not got much left in it.
Do you have, like, a launch day PlayStation?
It was like 6 months old when I got it. So, but like it's definitely been beaten up a little bit. I've dropped it down the stairs a couple times, I think.
How do you drop it downstairs? Like, what were you? What?
You just gotta get your anger out somewhere.
Oh wow!
It was
console.
No, it was. I've had a couple times where I've like moved my setup from like upstairs to downstairs, and I don't know. I've got very slippy hands.
Obviously, it would have been different. He was like, "Yeah, I dropped my Switch." I would have been like, oh, "Okay," but a whole PlayStation 4 is hilarious.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
It was the most terrifying moment of my life,
and that's a big thing. Like, it's pretty big. That's what she said. And like,
I hate you so much.
And like, it's just funny how I just continue like casually, like, you know,
it's the Michael Scott effect.
Yeah, exactly what it is. It's just. And it's probably made like a boom noise, like a boof boof.
Yeah, but don't you dare! I hate this podcast. But the reason I'm going with an Xbox One X over getting a PS4 Pro is because of a little thing called Xbox. That's not what it's called. Xbox All Access, which is it's like a phone contract for an Xbox. So for I think £25 a month, I get an Xbox One X, Xbox Game Pass, and Xbox Live.
Oh wow!
So that's an incredible deal, and like when you add it all up, and that's over a period of 24 months, so you're saving like I think the math is like £100 you're saving.
Wow!
Which is absolutely insane, and for £25 to get a One X, Game Pass and Live is incredible.
No,
especially
really
when you consider
it really is, and it's crazy how Xbox has just been doing stuff like this because Game Pass period is like you pay $1 a month and then you pay $5.
Yeah, 100%. And I hope they continue with this with the Scarlet. Which an interesting thing about All Access is that you pay £25 a month now, and then when the Scarlet comes out next year, you have the option to like add like a couple of quid onto that and get the Scarlet.
Wow!
And so it'll maybe like with the difference between the One X and the Scarlet, it'll maybe be like an extra 5-10 quid max, and so like that's not too bad. And like,
no, it's not.
Game Pass has got to continue onto the Scarlet, because if they have that, there would be no reason for anyone to not get an Xbox, because with Game Pass you get The Outer Worlds, Rage 2, Halo Master Chief Collection, all 3 Batman Arkham games, Doom 2016, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Metro Exodus, Minecraft, Outer Wilds, Superhot, and those are just the ones that like interest me incredibly. Yeah. You also, other AAA games it has are Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Sunset Overdrive, Devil May Cry 5, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Hellblade, Just Cause 3, Just Cause 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, Middle-earth Shadow of War, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat 10, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Rare Replay, The Walking Dead, The Telltale Series, Wolfenstein The New Order, Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. There is no reason that anyone should, like, it shouldn't even be a question at this point. Like, Xbox have somehow pulled it back in the final year to the point where I would see them as the superior console to the PS4 at this point. And it's just such a shame that it's come so late in this generation. Because if they would have done this at the start, like, it would have been game over for Sony.
Wow. I don't know if you've watched my podcast, the last Soul Dojo podcast, or if I talked about it in the last podcast. You're basically talking about the same exact thing I've been saying for the past 2 weeks after the XO 2019. I thought that every area Xbox is seeing, it seems like they're excelling in a lot of ways. Of course they don't have any real exclusives out there right now, but it's like when you look at They can rival Stadia with Project xCloud. They have probably one of the best subscription-based stores out there. And then on top of that, you're talking about this whole thing where you could just pay $25 and you can get an Xbox One. And it's just making it easier for people to get their hands on an Xbox. And on top of that, you got 15 developers who are willing to do games for you. And some of them are already announcing a lot of games. So I think the next console generation for Xbox is going to be amazing. I think just this console generation, I think we're starting to see. Xbox had the tools within the last 3 years. When you look at what they brought for E3 2 years ago, and then E3, I want to say 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago, and then this past E3, and then this XO 2019. You're starting to see the tools that they had, and we're starting to see as gamers like, oh, this is kind of what you guys have been doing for the last 4 years. Because in the beginning, they weren't focused on the games. Now, when they started focusing on that, they had to kind of right their wrongs and say, okay, we're going to have to start focusing on this stuff and start bringing the gamers what the gamers come to Xbox for, the games. And then on top of that, you're talking about Xbox. The beautiful part about it is I don't even have to get an Xbox. I could just play it all on PC.
Yeah, and for me, we were talking about this last episode. It came between getting an Xbox One X and a PC, and a PC would have been like having to save up and get it all at once.
Yeah.
Having 25 quid a month, and I've got an Xbox One X.
Perfect.
It just seems too good of a deal.
You can play with Xbox people.
Yeah,
you can play with that. And that's another thing. Xbox was the first with Nintendo. Was the first one to be like, let's get this cross-platform thing going. Let's do it with the biggest game in the world at the moment, Fortnite. Let's do it.
Yeah, and they killed it. Like, it's so good. The fact that you can play now with people between consoles, it's something that would have never happened in like the Nintendo Sega days, when like Sega were doing all those adverts that were like, yeah, Nintendo sucks, and just like
PlayStation was doing it too.
Tear down the companies. Yeah.
None, and I think crossplay is simply for the gamers. Like, I don't like for people that like people were opposing crossplay. I was like, are you stupid? Like, you're a gamer. You're a gamer. Yeah. And like you benefit from it. Just period. I don't care how many PlayStation sells. I don't care how many Xbox sells. You're going to benefit from this, because if you have friends that just have Xboxes and you guys want to play freaking Fortnite, Apex Legends, you guys can still play it together. You know what I'm saying? It's like I could play Diablo 3 on the Switch on the go with my friends that have it on PC. It's great. And cross-platform is just it's for the consumer, and I'm always for that. So there y'all go. Y'all get my little mini rant right now.
And there's no like proper business reason for Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony to all do crossplay with each other. Like, there's no reason that it would make them more money.
Exactly, because you still got your exclusives. They're doing it
for us,
right? You still got your exclusives. Like, people are still gonna buy Xbox because they want to play on Xbox, because they think Xbox Game Pass is the best, most suitable thing for them when it comes to gaming, because you're saving so much money and you get a big library of games. People are still gonna buy PlayStation because they want to play God of War, because they want to play Horizon Zero Dawn. You know what I'm saying? And people are still going to buy PC because it's the master race and they have amazing independent exclusives. Like, there's a reason to play these things, but it's great that we have that added option that we can play with other people on different consoles.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot about the Xbox and crossplay and stuff like that. We've talked about 20 minutes for that alone.
Yeah.
So let's head on to the next news thing. So speaking of next gen consoles, I did a little article about this on the We Talk website.
Did you post it? Because I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's up there at the moment. People can go check it out. I did it last week.
All right.
But the PS5 controller leaked, or a patent for it leaked, which is super, super exciting. Mm-hmm. It looks very, very similar to the DualShock 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it was different anyway. I wouldn't think they would go with a different design.
But I did a whole thing on the site sort of comparing some of the little differences that you might not notice. So it's USB-C charging now, which is absolutely incredible. Moving up, so then the Nintendo Switch and the PS5 controller will use the same charger, so that's really good.
Damn. Wow.
I was talking to a mate about it, a good mate of mine, Ethan Heffnam, and he was saying that the touchpad on it here looks like it might not actually be a touchpad, it could be a screen. Because if you look at like the side and back view, unlike the DualShock 4, it doesn't go round to the back and sort of go to near where the light bar is. It's like flat on the front. And so I was like, yeah, but it'd be like too small of a screen to do anything. And he was saying, what if it was like game recording or streaming menus or something like that? So you've got like the settings on, so like it's like you have the share button on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It becomes the share button. And I think that'd be a really interesting application for it.
That'd be really cool.
What else is there? It is very similar. One thing to note is that on the DualShock 4, the like grip is quite like tubular and it's very rounded. With this, it seems to like have been stretched out a bit to be a bit more similar to the Nintendo Switch Pro controller and the Xbox One controller. So that's something I really didn't like about the DualShock 4, and so I was glad to see they're changing a little bit with this. But patterns can always change.
Yeah, of course.
Like, they're always in flux. It's never definite. But I'd say if the PS5 comes out and this is the controller, I'll be extremely happy.
It does look good. I'm looking at it right now. It does look pretty good. I think it's always just with the PlayStation 4 controller. It's just the DualShock 4 controller. It's just the grips. That's why I have to use Control Freaks, because I think the grips are just too flimsy. They're too easy to rip off.
Yeah. Well, with my PS4 controller, it is. I need to get a new one at some point because it's not. The grips are gone.
You need to get Control Freaks, man.
But yeah, I've been looking at them. Like, it's never been a sort of thing where I've been like, okay, now I've got money, I'm going to get them. It's always sort of been like, in the back of my head, like, I could use them at some point. I'm probably not, though. One thing that I noted about this, which actually the people on the Players 2 podcast talked about, which is another podcast quite similar to this one, it's not got a light bar, which A, means it's good because longer battery life.
Right.
But the way the PSVR works when you're using the DualShock 4 is the PlayStation camera scans for the light bar. So if you're using VR, you can no longer use... Because they've said that PSVR is going to be backwards compatible with the PS5. And so you won't be able to use the DualShock 4. But then having the DualShock 4 in the game and being tracked by the light bar is a key part of games like Astrobot VR, which is one of the PlayStation VR's most infamous games. And is absolutely incredible, and I would say is the best game on the PSVR. And you have to have the light bar, and you have to have the controller motion tracked into that game for it to work. And so, if it's got no light bar, how is that going to end up working with some of the PS5 VR stuff?
That's a weird one. You know, I'm not really the VR guy, but that is a weird situation right there when you put it like that. Maybe you might have to lose some of that, some of those mechanics or something like that. Some of those, some of the things that make the game good. But I mean, if it's really relying on that, then yeah, you might not be able to play that certain game on VR with it.
Yeah. Well, in things like Astrobot, it is like a core mechanic. Not so much in the main game, but in boss fights, it like 100% lies on. You get like gadgets attached to the thing, and you can like flick the touchpad, and it sends off a grappling hook, and you've got to like pull his teeth down and smash his head off the big thing. And so,
surely they thought about this. Maybe there's something else with it.
Yeah,
surely.
Maybe it's got like built-in VR tracking, and like I don't know.
Has to be something.
But yeah, that's interesting to see. We're now like officially moving into the next generation. That's always so weird to me.
Yeah, it seems like it came a little bit earlier, because by the time with Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, it felt like it was time to move on. And just this time around, I think it could be the mid-console upgrades. It just doesn't feel like it's time to move on yet. It kind of still feels like the PlayStation 4 is still new. Xbox One is still kind of new. It just that's how it feels.
Definitely. We're in leak season at the moment because the next bit of news we've got is a potential PS5 launch title has been revealed, and it is Crash Bandicoot. There's been a Crash Bandicoot leak. I'm not sure if you saw this.
I did
but,
see this.
Very
I
interesting.
did see this. But it damn, I'm all over the place. When I see when I see certain news articles, I always look at like who did it, and like if I don't really recognize them, I just kind of like look the other way and just be like, yeah, it's not really credible. But like the one that I saw a leak, and it was some website, and I was like, there's no way. But I mean, if this is legit, I mean, it's a leak, so I don't know where the leak is coming from, but a Crash Bandicoot launch title could be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd love that. One thing I'm noticing interesting here, I've just looked it up. There is a bus ad for it.
What?
And apparently it's got the name Crash Bandicoot Worlds.
Huh.
And so it's a video, I think. Oh, no, it's just a still image, and it's a video of a still image because YouTube. But there's a bus that has... There's a couple of buses, actually, that have this poster on with the brand new Crash Bandicoot render. And it says... time to play or something like that.
Why would they have like promo?
It goes under the name
like,
Crash Bandicoot
have they
Worlds.
created? I mean, are they just put them on random buses, like buses that people ride to work and stuff?
I'd say it'd be it's one of those sort of buses, and I'd say it was like maybe they were meant to go up in a couple months after it's been announced at the Game Awards, and someone's just been like, yeah, we'll put these up, not realize that they're putting them up really early.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, why would they have them already out? But this is like the game is like in leak form right now. Like it's not even.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I feel like it's just some like intern who's getting fired.
Yeah, it could be
because
that.
he's put all the ones up at the wrong time.
Could be that.
But I love Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. It got in my 2017 Game Awards video, it got my favourite port of the year. Absolutely love that game. Sold it for Tame Impala tickets. So it was that, my Xbox, and like my Wii U, I think. I can't remember. But
don't give Niall nothing. You'll sell it for Tame Impala tickets.
Another potential PS5 launch title leak is Horizon Zero Dawn sequel. So it was this guy, I can't remember what it was, let me just look it up. I think it was this guy put it on his LinkedIn, being like, hey, I've worked on Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and people like, take that down. So, oh no, it was a Guerrilla Games job listing, that was it was.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, and you know what, I mean, we just don't know when it's coming. We knew they were going to do a second one, but we just didn't know when it was coming. It's a great game. It's a wonderful game to have for PlayStation 4. I kind of feel bad for that game because it came out during Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it's like in this game you can only...
wasn't it like...
Huh?
Well, wasn't it like the same week as Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, it was something like that. And it was funny that you can like only climb in like the spots that have like yellow tape on it. But then in Breath of the Wild, you can climb everything at any given moment, like everywhere. It was just funny because it was like, going back and forth between those two games. I was like, dude, you're so limited in Horizon Zero Dawn. But it's not even the game's fault necessarily. Like, because if I wasn't playing Legend of Zelda, I wouldn't think that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've talked about it on the podcast before, but I bought Horizon Zero Dawn about 6 months ago. And it is still sealed on my shelf because I just haven't had time to play it yet.
That is. But don't sell it for Tame Impala tickets.
No, yeah, I'll try my best not to. But we're probably going to go through a bit of a drought in January, February, where nothing's really coming out.
Yeah.
So I might jump in on it then. Yeah. But the job listing it didn't specifically mention Horizon Zero Dawn, but it says, within Guerrilla, we have 4 teams dedicated to creating the stunning environments of Horizon. So, like, it says Horizon. Like, it's got to be something.
Yeah, it might be called... You know, we keep forgetting that it's not... I guess Zero Dawn is just the chapter or the part of the story that they're in, because the game is called Horizon.
Yeah, it's like the subtitle.
Yeah, so if they made... Like, if it's called Horizon 2, I mean, that makes sense.
Or, like, Horizon Second Son. Oh no, wait, that's the Infamous thing. I was really proud of myself for coming up with a good game title, and it's Infamous Second Son.
Yeah, First Dawn.
Yeah. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Go. Hey, now I need to go ahead and just trademark that because Guerrilla Games can go ahead and buy that off me.
Did you
and I'm
see?
gonna help. What?
Did you see the guy? You know when Fallout first happened with Fallout 76, and they didn't register the domain Fallout first. So the guy went
Yeah.
on and made like a parody. Oh, it's so good.
Oh yeah, he made a parody
It's
of the website.
good. With
They're
the
so
official
stupid.
domain, it's my
Yeah.
favorite thing I've ever seen.
This so stupid. Yeah, he was like with butt pounding microtransactions. That was,
Yes.
that was really funny. That was really funny.
Half-Life Alyx got announced. It's
Yeah,
not
VR style.
Yeah, it's not the Half-Life 3 everyone wanted, but the developers came out and said like, oh yeah, having worked on this, we're now like ready to go back into the world of Half-Life. And I think Half-Life Alyx on its own looks really, really good. And I think it could be the VR game that it will either make or break VR, where it could be the game that really sells it. It's like the Mario 64 moment. Or it could be the one where people finally realise, okay, VR doesn't work. It's for short experiences only. And so it's definitely going to be interesting to see where that ends up.
Yeah, I saw people getting really excited for it. Of course, I ain't the VR guy, like I just stated, so I was just like, okay. Don't
Yeah.
really know what this is about. Don't even know what this is gonna lead up to. But I mean, it's Half-Life, and I'm really surprised that they even made a Half-Life game.
Yeah, that series seemed over, but now like I think I was listening to another podcast, I can't remember which one it was, but they were saying something along the lines of that what they might be doing is putting Half-Life Alyx out so that like the Half-Life 3 jokes stop, and then when it's at the sort of like quiet point where people are like, okay, we got Half-Life Alyx, we can go on with our lives now, boom, Half-Life 3, and it just gets announced out of nowhere in like a year.
I don't even know if the jokes are gonna stop like that. Like,
Yeah, but it like
it's not 3, so
yeah, we can never know. But Half-Life
yeah,
Alyx,
the internet's funny.
Half-Life Alyx looks really, really good. So you say you're not a big VR guy. Have you gone in like on any form of VR at all? Like even like the cardboard phone stuff?
No.
I think that I don't own all of them, but like through going to conventions and stuff and the couple that I do own, I think I've played at least one headset from each of the main manufacturers. So there's
That's
like
cool.
there's PlayStation, there's Oculus, there's HTC,
Right.
so
right.
there's Valve, and I think I've
I'll try
played.
one.
I think I've played at least one from every single one of the main developers.
Yeah.
So, and they're
I'm
all
gonna try one. Definitely.
they're all pretty good. Like, but again, it's for very short experiences, and especially with the PSVR one, which is the one I use the most because I've got an Oculus and a PSVR, and I think the issue is it's too heavy, and within like an hour of playing, I get like really bad neck cramp and I
Neck
can't keep
start
going. Yeah, it's an issue. But
That's crazy.
I'd say you've got to check it
I would
out.
love to try one.
Right, so the main thing we got to talk about today, it's the end of the year, pretty much everything of note has come out, so it's time to do it. This is the official We Talk Game of the Year Awards for 2019, the first ever one we've done on this podcast. This is a big moment. Take it in. Take it in.
Take it in.
Whoa, we made it. We made it.
Yeah. Oh my
so
god.
we've
I didn't even know we were doing an award show like that, but okay, cool.
yes.
Let's do it.
We've got a live audience in front of us. They're cheering. You might not be able
So
to hear
many
it on
beautiful
mic,
people.
but there's probably billions here, I reckon.
Oh yeah.
So,
totally.
we've got 4 categories here, which we'll go through. The first one is Best Multiplayer Game of the Year. So, Curtis, I'm going to throw this over to you. We're going to take it in turns. What would your Best Multiplayer Game of the Year be?
So I'm gonna have to go with Apex Legends. Yeah, so big surprise, EA game. But Respawn did a wonderful job with Apex Legends. If you look at the shooting mechanics on it, when it first hit the scene, it absolutely blew up. Everybody was playing it. It kind of moved. It wasn't the Fortnite killer, I don't think. I think they're both distinctly 2 different games. The more younger audience is always gonna play that game, and then the more maybe hardcore, maybe older people are probably gonna play Apex Legends. And I think Apex Legends is so good mechanically. It kind of feels like Titanfall a little bit, but they help build a lot of characters also. There's a lot of cool characters in Apex Legends, and it kind of gives you almost like that Overwatch feel with the characters. And I really enjoyed the game a lot. So when it comes to multiplayer, I say Apex Legends.
Wow, okay, fair one. I would say I think we've talked about it before on the podcast, but I'm not a big fan of like multiplayer games where live voice chat is on. Like, have it as an option, sure, but I think isn't it like always on in Apex?
I think you can only hear anybody that's in your party. That's it.
Okay. I just don't want to hear like an 8-year-old yelling stuff down his mic. But
Nah,
yeah.
I hear you.
That's not an issue with the game. It's more an issue with I'm just not a big fan of people sometimes. My best multiplayer of the year would have to be Super Mario Maker 2 because that game is basically infinite. Like the amount of stuff you can do with that game, it is limitless. There is so much. Well, you can do like a multiplayer where you play courses with other people online, but then it's people.
Oh, okay.
It's people uploading their own courses and you being able to play them is the main multiplayer aspect of it, I'd say.
Yeah.
And I'd count that as multiplayer because it's multiple players. But I'd say just the fact that it's an unlimited Mario platformer, it was always going to win this category for me this year.
I like it.
I've been really, really into it. One of my favourite ones, it's called like something Switches Elite Gamers Only. And I must have played at least 10 hours. Nah, that's a way over it. But like at least 5 hours on this one course alone over the 6 months I've owned the game.
Yeah.
Because I've just been trying to beat it. And it's so difficult and you have to have your jumps so precise. And I finally beat it. And I was so happy. It's finding a level that you love and the design of it really speaks to you and just playing it until you get it. There's something so satisfying about that. And then making your own courses as well.
Nice.
It's really, really good, even with the controls on the actual controller rather than using the touchscreen, which I was worried about. But it's all of it's very, very well done. I think everything about that game is very, very cool. It's probably one of the only multiplayer games I've played this year. So maybe if I had played Apex, it would have maybe crawled in there a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
I got you.
Mario Maker 2 is my best multiplayer of the year.
I like your next category. Each announcement of the year.
Yeah, best announcement. So we had, of course, E3. We had the Xbox One. What's it called? XO19.
Yeah, we had XO19.
Yeah.
You did have there was just even smaller announcements and stuff like that. Do you want me to go first? I already know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, we've got the Game Awards to come where there'll be announcements. We obviously can't do those yet. So this is just so far. But okay. Curtis, go ahead and do your best announcement.
You could do you could do like a cutoff, and then next year we can do what was in. We can do that.
Yeah. So that's what we'll do. But so this is
announcement of the year. Announcement of the year is Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk 2077 because you all are breathtaking. Yeah, I think that was awesome. Like it wasn't even. It was the fact that we had no idea. First of all, and Cyberpunk 2077 is the biggest game to come out next year. Keanu Reeves is the most loved man in the world, and it was like he's in it. What? And then like he did such an amazing that whole situation was like everything that happened on stage. Like it was just like it was crazy how it all happened. Like with the dude saying you're breathtaking and him saying it back, and like it that whole like moment was amazing for gaming, and it just showed that like surprises at E3 can still really happen that we just do not know about, and it happened on Xbox stage. So like it was, I thought that was a really awesome moment and announcement. It was great.
Well, it's one of the best moments that shows more than just gaming announcements, but also the gaming community. Like everyone going insane at seeing Keanu, the breathtaking guy, where just everyone like it's in an E3 that had really over the top crowd reactions, especially from companies like Bethesda, where people were just screaming over nothing and battle royales in Fallout 76 and people going insane. Just some of the worst
NPCs
stuff.
Are coming. Yeah.
Seeing in the Xbox One, and particularly with this Keanu Reeves thing, people's genuine excitement over something they're genuinely interested in, rather than just cheering loud for something because all big man on stage say this must be good. Like being actually so excited for something that you can't contain your excitement. It's such a beautiful thing to watch.
Right.
However, my best announcement of the year, it's obvious that it was going to be this. Breath of the Wild 2.
2.
Oh, I'm so
That was
excited.
a good announcement. That was a... We didn't see that one coming either. I don't even think there was a leak about that, was there?
No, they kept it well under wraps, and it was right around the point that, like, people were saying for years, do Breath of the Wild 2, do Breath of the Wild 2, and it was right around the sort of point where everyone was like, it's been long enough now, we're going to have to let that dream go, it's probably not going to happen. And then...
And they ended up doing it.
Boom. And that announcement trailer, I've gone down this massive rabbit hole of just people doing speculation videos on all of the like little hidden things and just trying to just pick apart this video. The backwards talking music is so creepy. It sets what the tone of the game is going to be perfectly. It teases the game in an incredible way whilst not giving away too much. It has the perfect level of mystery while still keeping you intrigued and in the loop. And it's just, it's so incredibly well made, and I'm so excited for that game.
That sounds pretty dope.
The one thing I was annoyed with the reveal is that I got home late, so I couldn't watch the E3 presentation live, so I was watching it. And as I was watching it, whilst the Animal Crossing bit was on, I get a notification at the top of my phone screen saying, Breath of the Wild 2 announcement trailer from E3. And I was like, it would have been so good if I didn't know it was coming. But even though I already knew, even though I had it spoiled for me, that reveal trailer shocked me, because I was imagining it to be like more Breath of the Wild, but it's clearly using the same engine and it's clearly in the same world, but it looks immediately so different to Breath of the Wild. And I'm
it was a great announcement. I liked it.
Yeah,
it was really dope.
So Breath of the Wild 2, super excited for that. It's probably my most anticipated game of next year, because I'm pretty sure it will come out next year. If not, it will be my most anticipated.
I was just about to say, is it coming out next year? It probably is.
It's not been revealed yet. If it is coming out next year, I reckon that will be revealed at the Game Awards. They'll do like a little trailer and it'll say 2020 at the end. Yeah. But look at the turnaround between like Smash Ultimate, and look at the turnaround between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And then we seem to be getting a Zelda game every year. We got Breath of the Wild in 2017, Hyrule Warriors in 2018, Link's Awakening in 2019. So it would make sense.
Yeah.
So if it comes out 2020, it's my most anticipated game of that year.
Wants to keep that consistency, keep that wave going of good Legend of Zelda games coming out. So
yeah, and it's incredible that we used to have to go like 5-6 years between Zelda releases, and now we're getting one every year. Not always a big mainline one, but it's a Zelda game nonetheless, and it's enough to tide us over to the next one. And I'm
always okay with that.
Yeah, Zelda's probably my favourite gaming franchise, so having like a constant stream of that is just incredible.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on to the next segment?
Yeah, I'm already reading it, and I've been thinking about it, and I think I know what I'm gonna say, but I'm probably going to say like 1,000 other things before I even officially say it. Because I'm still in my head. Because...
I know exactly what you're going to say for it.
Really?
I can guarantee.
Really?
So this is... In fact, what I'll do is I'll say what I think you're going to say for it, and then the listeners, based on that, can guess what the segment is. Does that sound good?
You say that one more time.
So I say what I think you're going to say, and then based on that, the listeners have to guess what the segment is.
Okay.
This is not going to work, but Anthem.
Now, look, I was going to say, I am going to say that basically, but I feel like I saw it coming. So I'm like, was that a disappointment when you really see it coming?
Yeah.
Is it still considered a disappointment if you see a train wreck coming, you know?
Yeah, so its biggest disappointment of the year.
It is the biggest. I think it is the biggest disappointment, and I think FIFA is one of them too, and I think there's another one. I think actually Red Dead not winning Game of the Year last year is a disappointment.
We can chuck that in there.
And that might be that's a debatable one. I'm not saying God of War didn't deserve it, but I'm like, Red Dead, I really think Red Dead should have took it last year. I'm just saying, I played both of them to completion, and I'm still like, Red Dead is was my game of the year last year, and I was just really like, what? I think Astral Chain, not Astral Chain. I think Metro Exodus not getting into the game of the year for the Game Awards is pretty disappointing too. But overall, I'm gonna say Anthem. I'm gonna say Anthem because it's a bad game. It's a real bad game.
Yeah.
It's not. The EA didn't know what they wanted out of this game. They didn't even know what the game was gonna be until it came out. Until like a few months before it came out, and I think it came out to a dumpster fire, and it's still not that great, and it's doing worse than we thought it was gonna do too. Like, nobody's playing it, but not Bethesda. You can tell EA have been flirting with the fact of completely just abandoning the whole game. You could tell they've been flirting with that, but now apparently it's gonna be a complete overhaul, which I think it should be an overhaul with the game, because I think this game, why they did pull all the knots together and actually make something that is kind of playable, I think the game should be in development for another 3 years. I think the game should be completely different and have the elements of a Bethesda game where you have the great storytelling, you have the great characters, you have the great combat, and you can romance characters, of course. And just something that's more substantial and that doesn't overlook that doesn't overlook fundamentals, because the game fundamentally isn't good.
Yeah.
And that's what Mass Effect Andromeda suffered from too. So I think they need to go completely back to the drawing board, and it seems like EA cares enough to do it. Like, it wasn't too big of a loss financially, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But no, that's the biggest disappointment for me.
I've got 4. My main one is easily, this is basically my Anthem at this point. The way you feel about Anthem is how I feel about this one. So Crackdown 3. I'm not sure if you played it.
Oh yeah, I played Crackdown 2, but I heard about the crap with Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3, more like Crapdown 3. That's my opinion.
Right, I hear that.
It sucks. Like, and I can't even articulate why. It isn't. It's not interesting. It's not polished. It's not well built. It's such a pathetic excuse of a game. It's like they sneezed and went, "Here's a game. Hope you enjoy it." It's just,
and it was hyped up so much too.
Yeah.
Like, it was hyped up. It's a franchise that at best it's like a franchise that sneaks in there, or not sneaks in there, but like it's a franchise that comes out and you think, oh, that's gonna be awesome. Like, I'll play it. It's not like a Halo franchise, and that's what Microsoft touted it as. Was like, yo, okay, we know we haven't made any good exclusives. We know Scalebound got, debunked and thrown away, but Crackdown is gonna be what you buy the Xbox One for. And it's like, it was never gonna be that. Even at its best, it was never gonna be that.
It was always gonna be. From the beginning, I thought it was gonna suck. But then in the month leading up to it, I was like, okay, they're pushing it. They wouldn't market it this much. Look at what Xbox have done recently between Game Pass and Xbox All Access and stuff like that. They wouldn't push it this hard if they weren't confident in it. So I was like, okay, this could be good. Came out for free on Game Pass, so I was like, okay, I'm going in. I didn't spend any money on it because it was on Game Pass. But
you got lucky, dude.
Yeah. But I didn't spend any money on it, but I want a refund. Because it's just, that's how I feel
I
about
want my
this
free
game.
refund for free
I want my time back.
I hear that.
Just, I put 3 hours into that bullshit game.
Oh,
and it's just, the controls are crappy. I never knew what I was meant to be doing. It's such a mess of a game that I don't want to warrant even talking about any longer. My next disappointment would be Pokemon Sword and Shield. Not because I don't like the game, but more because of the way that the Pokemon company handled it. With saying, oh, we can't put all the Pokemon in because we're updating all the models. Then it turned out that not all the models were updated. And then them just... it was very clear from the beginning.
That stuff.
Yeah, it was very clear from the beginning there was going to be fan backlash about that stuff. If they took out a bunch of Pokemon, there was going to be backlash. And they didn't do anything to really prevent that backlash. And all they did was come up with excuses and not, like, I don't know what they could have done, but I just feel like the whole situation could have been handled better. Third one is Link's Awakening, which I stand by the fact that that game is fine. Like, it's fine. But I expected it to be incredible. I expected it to be challenging for Game of the Year. And bearing in mind, I've played maybe 7 games this year, it's not in my top 5. So that's, like, saying something. And then Resident Evil 2 being nominated at the Game Awards. It's a 15-year-old game. Why is it nominated? So those are my disappointments.
I hear that. Yeah.
Personal disappointments is... We can do that on another episode. So, now it's time for the big one. So, we're going to take it in turns. We're going to each do our top 5 games of this year. So, I'll do one, Curtis will do one, then we'll try to keep doing until... So this is basically a top 10, but we're doing a top 5 individually. So, that doesn't make sense, but we'll run with it. So, my first one of the top 5 is Tetris 99, which might come as a bit of a shock to some people.
That came out this year?
Yeah, that was it was announced in the January Nintendo Direct. But it might be a shock to some people that I'd consider it one of my games of the year. But Tetris is great. It's pretty much as perfect as a game can be. So I'm putting it in this list because it's very, very fun, and they've taken the game Tetris, which is something that you don't really think can be redefined, and they've redefined it with what I would consider the only good battle royale. So,
wow,
I've played so much of it. It's perfect for the Switch Lite. Like, I've got to think that they've got to be thinking about putting it on the Switch Lite before they announce the Switch Lite. Like, I reckon that's the reason they rushed out a Tetris game and was like, it's free on Nintendo Switch Online, just getting it ahead of the Switch Lite because it's the perfect game for that. I was playing it at a football match the other day. I went to watch the football. I was playing Tetris 99 on my Switch Lite. It was great.
I've heard so many good things about it, though.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And then I've also gone in on all the DLC, so you can get, marathon mode, which is, your standard Tetris mode, and then you can get, offline with bots. And there's a lot of... Because the more you play it, it'll give you, every single day, it'll be, do 5 T-spins, and then once you do that, it'll give you a bunch of tokens. And you can use those tokens to buy, different skin packs and themes. So it'll be, 100 tokens. You can get your Tetris game to look like Mario. And do you want to know the best part about this?
What's up?
You can't buy tokens with real money. It's all in-game.
Yay,
it's all actual play in it. And especially considering it's a free game as well. They could have very easily gone, you can buy 500 tokens for £2, and people would have done that. But no, it's Nintendo. They're one of the best gaming companies. They didn't do it.
For a reason.
Absolutely incredible. So yeah, the rest of the ones we'll talk about will be a bit longer than that. But I don't think Tetris 99 is going to be nominated for many Game of the Year awards. So I just wanted to put it in mind, just to give it the credit I think it deserves. So, what would you reckon your first one is? This isn't in any particular order, by the way.
Oh, okay. So my first one would definitely be Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. I think it's a great game. It mirrors the Dark Souls formula really well, and it stand alone, it's its own gaming entity. It's just so good. It's so good. I love the world. I love the combat is so satisfying, and it's just so good, and it would be my go-to game of the year, and it's nominated for the Game Awards too. So hopefully that wins. But yeah, I would choose Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about that game, but I'm not good at games, so I feel like it would destroy me and my will to live. It just seems like it'd be way too much for me, and I don't know. One of my favourite parts of your entire Soul Dojo channel is the clip of you putting that game in the bin and then putting the bin on your head, because I feel like that summarises exactly what I'd become if I got that game.
It was on the first impression of Sekiro. Yeah, that's right.
I made a GIF of that.
That was freaking hilarious.
But that's one of my favorite parts of your entire channel, just that 10-second clip.
Thank you. But yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah, it would just destroy me though. I wouldn't be able to handle it. Well, yeah. So who's it by? It's not CG Projekt Red.
It's by Software.
Software. Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, from Software. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what have they done before?
Dark Souls.
Oh, well, it's literally the same company.
Yeah. It's Dark Souls and Bloodborne, games like that.
Okay, they've also done Metal Wolf Chaos. Not sure if that's anything.
That just sounds like a whole bunch of hoopla. I've never even heard of that game before.
Pretty much they've only really done Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and this. But
they have another game called Elden Ring that's going to come out. It's probably going to be the same kind of concept.
Yeah, well, they seem like their whole thing is making impossibly difficult games.
Games that would just ruin your life.
Whenever I play like a game like this where it's meant to be really difficult, I feel like it's difficult to spite me specifically. Like they've somehow analysed my gaming habits and how I play it and gone, this 15-year-old kid, we're going to make him cry. And just like done really purposely to ruin my life. But is there any plans on bringing Sekiro to Switch, do you reckon? Because we got a couple of the Dark Souls game on Switch, so
I'm not gonna say there's absolutely no chance, but I haven't heard anything. It could that'd be cool. It could work.
Yeah, well,
totally work.
I feel like I'm working on a video which is like top 5 games I'd like to see come to Switch, and I feel like now that we've got The Witcher 3 and Skyrim on there, I feel like
it opens up a whole category.
I feel like no one can say that game wouldn't fit on the Switch. Like, I genuinely think it's a possibility that Death Stranding could be on there, like potentially. Like, it'd be way scaled back, but I wouldn't say that game is any bigger than The Witcher 3 is. So
right, okay.
But yeah, I'd be interested to see that.
Bold prediction.
So my second one, let's go into this, and I feel like you've probably got this on your list as well. The Outer Worlds. Very, very good game.
Yes.
Absolutely incredible. I've not played much of it recently, just between playing Pokemon and Death Stranding. And I did like a big 4-hour play session, and the game went, hey, wouldn't it be really funny if we didn't save? And then I died, so I was set back 4 hours of progress, which I can't bring myself to face those 4 hours again. So it's going to be a thing that I go back to in a month and just speed through that little section, but it always annoys me when stuff like that happens.
Yeah, if we're doing that, second one would be The Outer Worlds. I mean, it's a game that I beat it, and I beat it within a couple hours, 20 hours. And it's a game I realized that it's short because it should be short, because you need to see the outcome of your choices. And the game really wants you to see that as soon as you can. So I feel like they have so many. One thing about The Outer Worlds is crazy is they have so many ways to build a character, but I feel like you don't get enough time. Now, you can get enough time by doing all the side quests and doing all that other stuff, but they want you to see the outcome of your choices really quick. And Parvati Hokum is one of my favorite characters, and her voice actor is being nominated for best character or best voice acting at the game. I kept saying she's amazing character. She's amazing character, and all of a sudden she's getting nominated. So
she's got to win that. There's no doubt in my mind that she's winning that.
Yeah, I really hope she does. She did an amazing job. The character is written so well.
Yeah,
and
all of them
she's the forefront. Huh?
I think all of the characters are, but her especially.
Oh yeah,
I
was just about to say that. I was about to say actually all of them are all different in their own way, have their own kind of, and you would think well, duh, but no, some characters can be so cliche-ish, you know what I'm saying, that I'm just the boring hunky guy. It's some people honestly are very cliche-ish and boring, while everybody in the Outer Worlds have their own kind of personality.
Yeah,
they're all different. So yeah, I mean that's another reason I love this game. So definitely could win Game of the Year. That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah. Well, I'd say
Wouldn't be funny.
there are cliched characters in the game, but even then, they're written in a way that disguises those cliches. And so it's, I think that's... It's an incredibly well-written
You said
game.
who?
I'd say Felix is quite cliched, maybe.
Oh, Felix. I just think he's crazy. Yeah.
Even so, like, he's cliched, but it's written in a way that disguises those cliches. So you're not sat there going, oh, what a cliche. You're thinking, oh, this is a well-written character who's got depth. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting talking to him. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think some of his missions give him a lot of depth. You know, I think there was a mission that you were supposed to, like, help him save or help somebody he's always been a friend to. And he kind of figures out, like, okay, you were kind of working with the board. And you kind of feel for him a little bit because he's like, dang, like I had to take him out or I had to rat him out or something. So, and that's another thing with the game is like the game builds so much character through the missions. And the missions are almost like main missions or main quest but they're side quests. It's crazy.
Yeah. Is there a single cutscene in this entire game?
A single cutscene?
As in, like, proper, like, cinematic. Like, there's an occasional one where you're, like, speaking to a guy on a monitor or something. But, like, as in, like, actual cinematics. Is there
Not
any cutscenes?
really. Yeah, and your character really doesn't get shown up a lot.
He's occasionally in, like, you'll catch a glance of him in a reflection, and you'll be like,
like what Cyberpunk's gonna do to us.
Yeah. But, that's how life goes, I suppose. Sometimes glance yourself in a reflection and you go, ugh, when's death going to take me? Yeah, absolutely love the Outer Worlds. I'm only, because I got set back so much, I'm only about like 6 hours in. But I'm definitely going to finish it at some point, probably not before the end of the year. But just purely because I don't want to face those 4 hours again so soon after. But if it weren't for that, I'd be finishing it as soon as possible. It's just a damn shame that glitch had to happen. My one issue with the game would be is that it doesn't run incredibly. Like I know you're playing on PS4 Pro now, but I'm just playing on the normal PS4, and I've heard it even happens on the One X, where anytime I like go through a gate and go into the new area, it seems to take a couple of seconds for the textures to pop in. Like occasionally, like especially the bridges I've found, they'll be like almost completely blank, and then the textures will pop in. And so there's some issues with that. And I don't necessarily know why, because it's a good looking game, but it's nothing astonishing. Like it's not doing anything really groundbreaking. So
it's a interesting looking game. It has a lot of that. It has a lot of colors and stuff, especially when you look at it like the open world and stuff like that. But I know performance wise, I've had multiple issues where I'm just kind of running and then it stops me and then it starts loading in the enemies. I'm like, there's nobody around here, and then it stops and it's like, nah, there's enemies here. And apparently, like just waiting to kill you.
Apparently that's better on the One X because it has like, I think it's like 3 times the power of the standard PS4 and the Xbox One. I've been doing a lot of reading about the One X recently, but like, so apparently it's a lot better on that. But yeah. Still, but
there is pop-in too. I've witnessed a lot of pop-in also. So if you guys watch my review, you guys can watch that my 90-second review on the Outer Worlds on the Soul Dojo. I talked about and I decked it off for the performance on PlayStation 4 because I was like, if it's probably happening on PlayStation 4, it's probably happening on other ones too.
And well, it's going to be interesting to see because that game comes to Switch next year. Well, that's been confirmed.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
So if it's struggling on the PS4 and even the PS4 Pro, like that might not. So look, Outer Worlds, incredibly written game, been absolutely loving it, but there are some definite performance issues which probably just stops it from getting Game of the Year for me. So do you have another one to do, or are we going into the third one?
Yeah, we'll go to the third one.
Okay. So my third one is, and look, it didn't come out this year, but all the proper publications are putting it in, so I thought I would as well. Super Smash Bros.
Ultimate.
Yeah. Just incredible. I don't want to say too much about it because it's a year old at this point, but I just absolutely love everything about that game. Consistently meeting up with mates to play it. Some of the best parts of Smash Bros. come from the jokes you make with your mates whilst you're playing it.
Yeah.
Like, there's just some... and, like, I think I've told you this story before. I'm not sure if I've said it on any podcasts. But the day Smash Bros. Came out, me and one of my best mates, Seb, shout out to Seb, he came around to my house, and we played it for, like, 7-8 hours straight. And then that very same night, we went round to his house and played it for, like, another solid 6 or 7. So we played, like, 15 hours of this game straight. And it didn't get boring. Because I remember for some reason we had a running joke that was just like, whenever someone did a Final Smash, the other one would just yell, "Ba-ba-dee-ba-dip." And I don't remember where that came from.
What in the
but
world?
It was hysterical. Like, it was so good. Just, "Ba-ba-dee-ba-dip, ba-da-ba-boom." It's just 15 hours of Smash Bros. Gets you delirious.
Gaming could really...
But look, it was so fun, and just... It's the perfect couch co-op game. Not even couch co-op because you're against each other, but like couch multiplayer.
I hear that. So my number 3, and this isn't gonna really... some people might disagree, some people might agree, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. My number 3 is Kingdom Hearts 3. I am a big Kingdom Hearts fan, and the reason why I say Kingdom Hearts 3 is because... Not because it did anything different, not because it elevated... Not because it was the most innovative Kingdom Hearts game and I had a conversation with somebody about that. It's because it brought everything that all the games had going on, brought it into one. And the ending I can be okay with. Yeah. And it also sets up for like another 6 to 10 other Kingdom Hearts games to come. And for me, as a Kingdom Hearts fan, I'm like, yay. Like, let's do it.
You had the opposite reaction to me.
Keyblade willing... Like, obviously, like, let's see more people with spiky hair swinging that key around. I can't wait. I have a replica Keyblade. So,
wow. I downloaded, there's now on the PS4 store, there's a downloadable demo of Kingdom Hearts 3, which is probably like the first half an hour to an hour. Do you reckon I can get an understanding of at least some of the Kingdom Hearts story from the first hour of that game? Or will it still...
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't.
Not just a no, I mean a strong no. Because as a person that's followed it, I still don't know what the hell is going on. It is just... Because you have one person, and that person can be like 3 other people. And
hang on, sorry, what?
Yeah. like if you're killed by a Heartless, right? Niall, if a Heartless kills you and your heart is strong enough, you become a nobody, right? So like the nobody, you're nobody, and if your nobody is strong enough, like you're gonna be like in the Organization 13. So like your name will be turned around backwards and has an X through it. So your name will be Lixnard. I don't freaking know. So like it would be something like that. And then like your heartless self would be like just a regular heartless. So like you would have heartless
I'm already heartless.
Oh well, you just gonna be Niall then. And then you would have a nobody name Lixnard or whatever. Yeah, your heartless name is Lixnard. And like he's like the 14th member or whatever. So that's like one concept. That's only one concept.
What the... No.
Because in Kingdom Hearts 1, you killed the dude you were supposed to kill, but it wasn't really him. It was his Heartless. Then in Kingdom Hearts 2, you killed his nobody. And then in Kingdom Hearts 3, that's when you actually got the actual dude. So like it's stupid.
What? How can this be in your top 5 of the year?
Well, because it was good. Like when you it was a good game. Like it really was a good game. Like I felt like it was the combat was fast paced. It was a good game. It was. I loved it. For a person that follows the game, I understand it in a little bit. It was good. I liked it.
I feel like I've left it too long to get into it. And like I've watched like 50 YouTube videos that's like the chronological timeline of Kingdom Hearts 3 explained. And if anything, it's made less sense once I've watched those videos. Like, I just don't think I can ever get into it. It's just the
undertone stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's the undertone stuff. It's like, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I actually kind of understand it now, a little bit. but there's just some small things. I'm just like, that just does not make no sense.
Why would Disney ever agree to let their characters in this? Like, knowing how...
It's Square, though. Like, Square, that's what they do.
Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but knowing how much Disney protect their IPs and how protective they are over it, letting the guy who's now... He doesn't have a heart, so he's a backwards name, him, and he works at a place called 14. Why did...
I'm dead.
None of this makes sense.
It's weird. It's all... But, like, you gotta kind of... It's like Hideo Kojima's work. You gotta give it that leeway. You just gotta be like, okay, it is what it is. Like, it's like, why does Sora, Ventus, and Roxas all look alike? Well, because when Ventus got beat up by Xehanort, Sora connected with him and their hearts connected, and now, like, Roxas is like his nobody, is Sora's nobody, and like that's why he looks like Ventus.
How messed up would a Kingdom Hearts 4 be if it was directed by Hideo Kojima? Like,
it would be the scariest Kingdom Hearts. It would be awesome, but it'd be scary.
I reckon Disney would be out immediately. Like, as soon
Disney
as
would
soon
be
as
like,
he
he'd be like,
comes on
here
board,
you go. Like, it would have Hercules just split in half by like a dude with a sword or something. Like,
Goofy in that orange baby tank thing, just gosh.
I'm on the floor.
That would be good. I'd like that. I'm gonna get my mate.
No, it'd be funny if Donald was in it. He'd be in the freaking water.
I can't do it. I'm gonna get my mate to draw that, and it'll go on the
Sora,
Twitter.
we need to find Kyrie.
Oh,
Yep, that'd be funny. And he's like carrying around like a whole bunch of bags of keyblades.
Yeah.
He's all rocking back and forth.
This would be so good. We gotta start a petition. Get Hideo Kojima to direct Kingdom Hearts 4.
What would the name be? Kingdom Stranding?
Whatever the name is, it can't be worse than the one they did on 3DS, which was like Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance or something like that.
Oh, Dream Drop Distance, which one was that one? That was the one.
It was the 3DS one, and it was called like Dream Drop Distance because it's 3D, and just called it Kingdom Hearts 3D.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like exactly which. The one I don't like is the Kingdom Hearts. I don't like the recoded idea, and I don't like the. Is it Dream Drop Distance? Nah. I like Dream Drop Distance. It makes a lot of sense, but yeah, the recoded stuff, I didn't really understand it. I was like, that y'all did not need to do all that. Like, you guys didn't need to add on to the story like that. That was just unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm ever going to explain or be able to even understand that game. But you know what? If you're in, if you like, if it's your cup of tea,
I say number 3 is a good game of the year for me, and it rated high. Like that, it's another thing.
Yeah. My fourth one is Untitled Goose Game. I actually only got this last week, but it's an absolute blast, or should I say, it's an absolute honker. No, I shouldn't. But
that was bad.
Yeah,
that was real bad.
But I'm not going to edit that out either, so the listeners will just have to suffer.
Just poor comedy.
But Untitled Goose Game. Speaking of poor comedy, it's good comedy because you, instead of like being written jokes, which I always find awful in games, like we talked about the Spider-Man PS4 thing of is it National Rocket Day or something, like that awful thing. Instead of being stuff like that, like you're just like stealing stuff, and like you can take a guy's slippers off whilst he's just sat there, and then he chases you and you put him in a lake. It's so good. It's just
yeah, it's a funny game. He's you run around with a little gangster goose. The goose is gangster. Like, I was gonna do a discussion video over who's more gangster, CJ from San Andreas or the goose.
Oh, you should absolutely do that. 100%.
I think I'm gonna end up doing it. Yeah, and it's funny. Yeah, like I was like taking a shower and I'm like, yo, I have so many ideas for this thing, because it's like CJ has all his homies with him. But the goose is so gangster, like he doesn't have anybody.
Yeah. But
doesn't have anybody rolling with him. So like that's just funny in itself. He's just like, I'm just a solo gangsta goose.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, not much to say about Untitled Goose Game, other than I feel like
Independent game by House.
Yeah, and it's one of their. I think it's their first game. But
yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think what puts it in this list for me is the fact it's just fun. Like it's just fun, and I feel like I will always prioritize fun over seriousness or like anything else. It has to be fun for me to enjoy it. And I think just how purely enjoyable Untitled Goose Game is. I could play it for
Switch?
hours.
Did you get it for Switch or PC?
Oh, I got it on Switch.
Okay.
But it is available on PC, and there's like rumors floating about, or at the very least like speculation of like PS4 and Xbox One ports. But
yeah,
at this point, I'm not sure if it's going to happen. Like I think.
Well, it's an independent title. I mean, they got to figure out the money situation.
Yeah.
And is PlayStation are they willing to let them get on the platform for little money? I bet you would make money if Untitled Goose Game came to PlayStation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I think maybe they've seen how popular it's been on Switch and PC and gone, we want a piece of that pie. And then the goose comes up, and
a piece of that goose.
The goose comes up and he takes some of that pie, and the Sony execs go, "No, I wanted that pie," and the goose goes, "That's my pie." Yeah. Goose can talk.
Yeah. So easily.
So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is going to be you said an independent game. I'm gonna do an independent game. I'm gonna say Disco Elysium.
Okay.
I played a little bit of it. It is so well reviewed. It could win Game of the Year. It's like a 9.6 probably. I mean, it's so well reviewed. You play as a detective. You got to kind of figure out what's going on. You can choose like different starting points, things like that. It's a little bit of RPG. Not a lot of combat in the game, but it's so well written. And I think it's one of those examples that you don't need to have these God of War scaled games, big, huge games, for them to be amazing games, just like Untitled Goose Game. Untitled Goose Game is a simple game.
Yeah.
Well, simple concept, and it's amazing, and people love it. Same thing with Disco. It's like, it's a little bit more complicated in concept, but it's not as big as scale, and it's made by an independent team also, and it's on Steam, it's on PC, and it's amazing. So I'm gonna say that's my number 4. Yeah.
Okay. My number 5, you've probably seen it come in, Death Stranding. And I would say, out of all of these, this is my definitive game of the year. We're going to decide a definitive one together in a minute, once we've gone through all of these. But I would say, for me personally, just from what I've, like, again, I haven't finished it, but I can already tell it is, and I'm going to finish it before we do the next episode, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm gonna come out here and say it. I'm going to finish it before the next episode, which is Game of the Decade as well, so that'll be interesting to see where it fits in with that. But yeah,
we're gonna do Game of the Decade on the Soul Dojo too.
But you can listen to what we said last episode about it, or you can go back and listen to the top half. But I just want to of this one. But I just want to say, just this game, what it's done, it has ruined me as a person. Because so when I get really into a game, it happened with Breath of the Wild. I start like incorporating part of that game in my daily life. So, for example, back when I played Breath of the Wild when it first came out, and I was just playing it all the time, I was like walking along this path, and there was a massive field, and there were these 2 trees that were like placed right in the middle, and it looked like if I went over, it would be one of those things where it's like a Korok seed in the middle. So like I sort of went as if I was like running towards it, and then I realised there's not going to be a Korok seed over there. This is real life. And so with this, I do a paper round, which is me carrying a big heavy thing around, delivering it from place to place. I feel like I am in Death Stranding, because not only whilst I'm doing that, am I like imagining the game in my head, because all I want to do is play it, but I'm also listening to the soundtrack, because the soundtrack is just incredible, and you can get it on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. So I'm just listening to that whilst doing this, and then like I'll hear something, and my brain will go, shit, it's a BT, and I'll like flinch to hide, and I have to, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it immerses me so much when I'm playing it, that it's all I can think about, and it's all I want to play, and it's just so incredible and so
That's good.
fun.
That's real good.
Yeah, I'd say anyone who's interested in games or even has a passing interest in Death Stranding, I said last week, maybe give it a while. I would say just get it now, get it physical so that if you genuinely don't like it, you can get a refund. But I'd say get it as soon as you can because it is such an incredible game. The multiplayer elements to it is incredible. People helping each other through the game, setting up the chiral network is incredible. Some of like the balancing, like I thought it'd be way more tedious than it is, but it's not. I thought just walking from place to place would be boring. It's not. There's just something about it, and I don't know how they've done it, but there is just something that's made it such an incredible game that I feel so weirdly passionate about. But yeah, Death Stranding, definitely my favourite game of the year personally.
Now, my number 5, I would say Death Stranding, actually. Like, I would throw Death Stranding in there because I know of the game and I kind of see what the idea is for it. But I'll just go ahead and I'll say just a different one because you said Death Stranding. I'm going to go with Devil May Cry 5.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really play it, but taking a look at it, heard my homie playing it, and apparently it's really good. Fighting is really good. Mechanics are just super solid, and it's nominated for at the Game Awards. And I think it's a game I'm probably gonna end up picking up very soon. I was gonna mess with you there and be like Anthem, but no.
Oh, I would have killed you. Oh no, I would have killed you if you said Crackdown 3. Like,
oh man, that no, like those games just no. Just absolutely not. But no, I'm gonna go with Devil May Cry 5 as my 5th one.
Okay, so now it's time. So I'll list the 5 that I said, then you list the 5 that you said, and then together we have to come to a combined agreement on what the best game of this year was. So mine were Tetris 99, The Outer Worlds, Smash Bros. Ultimate Goose, Untitled Goose Game, and Death Stranding.
Ultimate Goose Game would be a good game.
Yes. All
I
the
said
gooses.
Disco, all the gooses going at it. I said Disco, Devil May Cry, Sekiro, Kingdom Hearts, and Outer Worlds.
The only one that appears on both of our lists is Outer Worlds. So I feel like it's got to be that.
It really has to be the Outer Worlds, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when we think about it, because like, and it's not like I disagree with your list at all.
No. And I don't disagree
it's
with
not
yours.
like yeah, I think Death Stranding is an amazing pick. Untitled Goose Game is an amazing pick. Both of those games are great. What was the other one you picked?
There was Tetris 99 and Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, and you know what? Smash, the only thing that I think I kind of went into it, I just don't see that as a game of the year kind of game because maybe to me personally, like just my opinion, I haven't played it in months. So I'm just like, I played it for a little bit and then I'm like, I'm done with it. Like I'm not worried about the game. I played it throughout December, but after that I was just like, okay, I'm done playing it. Like it's just not. It was a game I forgot about really easy.
Yeah. I think whilst The Outer Worlds is the only one we've both got on our lists, I'm not sure if it's the one we want to give the We Talk, because this is a big thing. This is going to be going on like the cases of game covers for the next year. Like this is people. This is going to be used in marketing. We want to make sure we use this power wisely. So, look, I really like The Outer Worlds, but I think maybe it has to go to something else because I'm not sure if it's a game of the year. So
okay. I mean, I'm okay with that because I mean, I actually would have been okay giving it to The Outer Worlds, but like, I don't even think The Outer Worlds is actually going to win Game of the Year. Actually, so
I'd say the two I'd say at the moment would be Death Stranding and Sekiro.
Yeah, and Sekiro, and me and you both. Like, I haven't played one, and you haven't played the other.
Yeah, so
that's
makes
the
it
funny
difficult.
thing.
So right. So how about this?
Okay.
You pitch me in a sentence why Sekiro should be Game of the Year, and then I'll pitch you in a sentence why Stranding should be Game of the Year, and then we'll try and do that. Right.
How about we pick Sekiro Stranding, and that's the Game of the Year?
Yeah, you know what? That works. So, the official We Talk seal of approval goes to Sekiro Stranding.
Are you good at Photoshop? Because we should totally just get the face of what's his name from Death Stranding and put Sekiro's head on it.
I can try and whip something up, yeah.
And then put like his katana and the little baby thing, or a little baby holding a katana or something.
Yeah, but so that's it. So Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice and Death Stranding both get our Game of the Year award.
I love it.
It's been a wild year. It's not been jam packed, but there's been where there's not been quantity, there's been quality. I feel.
You know what, Niall, I kind of disagree.
Really?
I think there's been a lot of great games. A lot. I think we talked about this before. I think it hasn't been like, last 2 years, it was like, okay, it's either Legend of Zelda or Mario.
Yeah.
It's easy to see. Those were the biggest titles that came out. Those are the ones that shook the whole ground. This last year, it was like, okay, it's either God of War or it's Red Dead. Of course, games came out. But I think this year, or maybe this might be something different you're talking about, but I think this year we had a whole plethora of amazing games come out that it's just hard to see which one was really the standout. I think there was a lot of games that they're all kind of on the same level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? None of them burst into that Red Dead stratosphere. Same thing with God of War or even Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They all kind of went, no, these aren't console generation defining or decade defining, but they're enough to be like, hey, in 2019 I played that. That was like the best game in 2019. There's a lot of those games.
Yeah.
I think I can name at least 6 that are like, that's amazing.
I feel like for me personally, it was a bit of a slow year in terms of stuff I was interested from. Like, in another year, I never would have gotten the Outer Worlds. Like, if the Outer Worlds came out in 2017 with the year where we had Zelda, Mario, Splatoon, bunch of Horizon Zero Dawn, like, I never would have for a second thought about getting the Outer Worlds. So I feel like
That's
because
crazy.
it's been a bit of an emptier year, I've gone in on it and I've
nice.
really enjoyed it. So that's good in a way. But I think it's very interesting. But next year, we've got Doom Eternal, Animal Crossing, Cyberpunk 2077, Watch Dogs Legions, the PS5 and Xbox Scarlet coming out.
Last of Us Part 2.
Last of Us Part 2, yeah. There's so much happening next year that's going to be... this time next year, we're going to be doing a very interesting episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. It's probably going to be Cyberpunk Infinite that we put together.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite and Cyberpunk 2077.
Should we do that every year? Should we do like a combined one where we pick 2 and we smush them together in an awful Photoshop?
That would be hilarious.
That would be great.
The Last of Cyberpunk.
We'll see what Cyberpunk Eternal. We'll see what we can
Cyberpunk Eternal.
To be honest, I don't think that'll even end up being the case next year though, because with the way it's going, I reckon it'll be a case of both of us saying Cyberpunk. But we'll see.
You think
where
we'll
that
both
ends
just
up.
be like, I'm scared because I'm like, I already know how I am. I'm gonna be like, it's Cyberpunk, and then I'm gonna play Last of Us. I'm like, look, it might have to be The Last of Us. Like I'm scared that I'm gonna say that. Knowing you're gonna come on here and be like, look, Curtis, you're gonna make me mad, but I'm gonna make you mad, but Cyberpunk isn't that good.
Well,
and that'll be the day I stop doing We Talk.
The thing I'm worried about is like, I've genuinely been concerned that what if Cyberpunk isn't good? Like, what if we're here next year and we're doing Biggest Disappointment and we both say Cyberpunk? Like, what if it's that bad?
That's not gonna happen. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
It could though. Like,
Keanu Reeves is in it. It's not gonna happen.
he was in The Matrix 3. Like,
But he's breathtaking, and that game's gonna be. And he said the game is breathtaking,
yeah.
which made the guy say you're breathtaking, then him say he's breathtaking.
I did watch it.
We're
Curtis.
all breathtaking. So everybody listening to this podcast is breathtaking, just like Cyberpunk. So it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Next year's going to be a very interesting episode, but I don't think we have time for mystery item.
We don't know. I have to get ready.
Yeah, mystery
Because
item will return in
happening.
2 weeks. We promise.
We promise.
We got some interesting stuff to talk about. Watch it never come back now. Like, I know a couple of people asked me in DMs for it. We just don't have time, but it will be coming back in 2 weeks. We promise.
But let us know in the DMs and in the comments, like, what do you guys think Game of the Year is to you, in your opinion? And do you think, Sekiro Stranding is the perfect game for you? Would be like the perfect game to play?
Yeah, and I'll do a big article on the We Talk site. That's we-talk.com, where it'll be a list of our Game of the Years with a couple bullet points and a little bit of talking about it, and then you can go and comment on that post about it. That'll be up in a couple days.
Nice.
If you want to support the show, please just go and follow us on social media at we_talk on Twitter, or as I've already said, we-talk.com, where you can find all of our personal social media, so we don't have to plug it on the show anymore.
Right.
My YouTube is Dr. Nintendo. Curtis, you do the Soul Dojo.
Yep.
And just keep
the
an
Soul
eye out.
Dojo gaming channel.
Yeah, and just keep an eye out for all of that stuff. We got a bunch of incredible stuff coming down the pipeline very, very soon. But let's wrap this up. So, I've been Niall. You've been Curtis. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the We Talk podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes, all of that stuff. Go to the website, we-talk.com. We've already done the socials, we don't need to do that. And so, that's it. Thank you so much for listening to our Game of the Year episode of the We Talk podcast. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, peace.
Ba-ba-dee-ba-dip.